Sponsored by
PhD, MPhil किसी भी विषय में डिप्लोमा के अनेक अवसर है RKTF यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशंस ओपन.
In a major development for the first time since the beginning of Israel and Hamas war, the United Nations Security Council on Monday passed a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. It came as the United States refrained from vetoing the resolution, bringing Israel to near isolation on the global stage and exposing its tensions with Washington. Following the US decision to abstain from voting, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu cancelled a scheduled trip to the US by two of his top advisors. In the meanwhile, Hamas has rejected the proposal, accusing Israel of ignoring its core demand of fully withdrawing from Gaza. Notably, the US has vetoed similar resolutions calling for a ceasefire in the past. However, its position evolved last week when it put forward a ceasefire resolution tied to the release of hostages, but it was vetoed by Russia and China. The US abstention on Monday's vote allowed the latest resolution to pass, with the other 14 members of the 15-strong council voting yes. Clarifying its stance, US Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas-Greenfield said that while the latest resolution included edits requested by the US, Washington could not vote yes because it did not agree with everything.
Colleagues, we appreciated the willingness of members of this council to take some of our edits and improve on this resolution. Still, certain key edits were ignored, including our request to add a condemnation of Hamas. And we did not agree with everything in the resolution. For that reason, we were unfortunately not able to vote yes. However, as I've said before, we fully support some of the critical objectives in this non-binding resolution, and we believe it was important for the Council to speak out and make clear that our any ceasefire must come with the release of all hostages. Indeed, as I've said before, the only path to a durable end to this conflict is the release of all hostages.
The Palestinian Authority welcomed the resolution, while Israeli Ambassador to the United Nations Gilad Erdan criticized the Security Council for passing a resolution demanding ceasefire without conditioning it on the release of the hostages.
I wish to suggest an alternative text that should have been adopted by the Council if it wasn't so biased against Israel. The Security Council strongly condemns and deplores all abuses of human rights and, where applicable, violations of international humanitarian law by the terrorist group, including those involving violence against civilian populations, notably women and children, kidnapping, killing, hostage-taking, pillaging, rape, sexual slavery and other sexual violence, recruitment of children and destruction of civilian property. The Security Council demands that the terrorist group immediately and unequivocally cease all hostilities and all abuses of human rights and violations of international humanitarian law and disarm and demobilize. The Security Council demands the immediate and unconditional release of all those abducted who remain in captivity.
Israeli Foreign Minister said on X his country would not abide by the resolution. Though Hamas praised the resolution, the terrorist organization stated that it would hold on to hostages until Israel agreed to withdraw its forces from Gaza and release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, including top militants. It said late Monday that it has rejected a recent proposal that fell short of those demands, which, if fulfilled, would allow it to claim an extremely costly victory.